Hello, my darlings. Do you want to play a game? Welcome to our Season 6 finale of our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle ATL By Night. Chapter 8, To Hell with Good Intentions. Let's welcome our vampires.
Hi, I'm Leona Rohr, playing Thomasina Elena Cuesta, dressed as Tiffany.
Zachary Valdo, playing Antonka Roposkov, dressed as Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
I'm Renee Cooper, playing Hexadecimal, dressed as Candyman.
I'm Ian E. Muller, playing Freddy. I'm Jackson, sorry.
My name is Tyler Sutherland, playing Aaron Ulrich, dressed as Norman Bates.
And I'm your storyteller, Ellie Collins, or your jigsaw for this evening. We want to give a big thank you, as always, to our sponsors who take such good care of us and do a lot for us. Make sure to check them out in our Linktree, which is currently in the chat, or you can visit Linktree/ATL by Night. I do believe that is all of my announcements for tonight. Tonight does have a special content warning. It will be a little more intense than usual, as evident by how everyone is dressed right now. So now why don't we sit back and relax and tell a vampire story. We pick up tonight on a road along a cliff facing where an 18-wheeler has gone off the edge, and our coterie lay scattered among the pavement. Our coterie investigated a home that turned out to be the home of a man that they had encountered in the art museum. They found a lab with evidence of a family, a wife and small son, but soon they were set upon by hordes of creatures full of fury and in overwhelming numbers. They managed to escape, but not before that errant 18-wheeler met their fate against the group on the road. Your flesh road-rashed and torn, your blood splattered all across the pavement, you all notice that you still have it in you to move.
Ow.
Storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
I passed both rouse checks for Flesh of Marble.
Okay.
So, I don't take damage from the truck, but I believe the asphalt still does.
Yes, the asphalt still gives you 2 superficial.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start kind of crawling. Can I see the road from where we are?
You're on the road.
Oh, we are? Okay, great.
You see very closely.
Yay! I'm just gonna kind of start crawling then off the road, try and like get hidden in some like bushes or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm going to climb to my feet and help anyone that needs it out of the main thoroughfare. So just pick people up.
Okay.
Is it still raining?
Yes.
And are there any other sounds other than rain and storm sounds?
Not at this moment.
Okay. How far,
After the 18-wheeler crashed, it went silent.
how far are we from any of the other houses?
You're probably, given the spacing of the houses here, it might take you 2 to 3 minutes to walk to the next house.
What's the status on the horde that was at the house that we just left?
They are no longer chasing you.
They're just standing, or are they gone?
At
Driveway was
this,
pretty long, wasn't it?
pardon?
Driveway was pretty long, wasn't
The
it?
driveway was pretty long, and you were knocked probably about 20 to 30 feet down the road.
Okay.
You all right?
And you can see Jackson's body starting to shift and push back to like normal shape, not the muscle-bound arm blade version that he was earlier.
Oh.
I'm going to see. I honestly can't remember whether or not I'm still configured like the portrait of the woman.
You still look like the woman.
So I'm going to try and like start to feel out for features that I more recognizable that aren't mine, and start to kind of try and put them back into place where I can.
Okay.
I'm just gonna listen for them if they start talking.
Is everyone okay?
I'm in one piece.
I feel like roadkill.
I'm hungry.
I'm getting there as well.
I need now.
Yes,
I think we might all benefit from this.
There's that
Yes.
party.
I need all of you
That's
to
all-
feed first.
Yes, that's a lot of people.
I'm walking towards the house.
There's another. There's
the
another
first house that you would come to would be the one that was for sale, that still had people inside.
And there's another house apart from the party. Maybe we don't have a million people see us show up like this.
I've already started walking, so if you're talking, I'm not hearing it, and I'm already going towards like probably the back door.
Yeah. And if you want to make sure she doesn't potentially kill them, we need to go there.
Yeah. All right, and I'll follow Hex.
I'll look for Thomasina.
I'm gonna start getting up, and I'm just gonna say, you first.
Yeah, I know, but you have to come with us.
You get in the house first, you feed, and then you come find me.
Storyteller, what time is it?
You're actually unsure how long you were in the home or on the street, but it is less dark than you recall.
I'm just going to point at the sky and interrupt and go. Do you remember when you wanted me to leave? When it was getting light? Tables turned. Come on.
It's so important that you're right now. God damn it. And just, I start getting up and, you said you're kind of going towards the back door?
Yep.
Okay. Going after Hex, as, like, hobbly as I can.
Okay. Jackson, Aaron?
I'm already following Hex.
Okay.
I'm looking around, seeing if anyone is coming out to look at the accident or.
Okay.
I am with the group, but not excited about feeding.
Okay.
Does everybody need to eat, or is it just us?
I'm fine.
You okay?
I'm not eating.
Right, but are you okay?
Don't ask again.
Fair enough. Less chance of any mishaps going on then.
That's gonna draw some attention. I'll keep an eye out if you wanna keep an eye on them.
Sure.
If we can do this right, maybe it won't draw any attention.
Okay. So you all make your way to the house. It is a larger home, 2-story, seemingly, columns out front, large pool out back that you can even see from the side.
Okay. What is can I get into the back door or back into the backyard?
You would need to scale a fence to do it, but it is one of those where stone column, a few wrought iron pieces, and a stone column, so you could easily scale it.
Are there any lights on in this house?
There are some lights in the pool, and inside the house there's a few lights in the living room and one in a room upstairs.
Okay. Can we see inside the house?
You cannot at this point.
Just want to walk up behind, seeing Hex staring at the wall and go, if we go to the front door, we might have less a chance of people waking up screaming.
I just
Yeah.
need to
Yes.
do this as quickly as possible.
Then follow me.
I'm gonna follow.
When you say as quickly as possible, we need to identify the easiest first.
The easiest is that we tell them to let us feed.
If they're still awake,
That's what the doorbell's for. And I'm walking towards the front.
What are you doing?
Do you want to break in, set off a security system, and possibly wake up people, or do you want to ring the doorbell and have them come straight to us?
I ring the doorbell.
Okay.
We don't have time for this.
I think I'm also bleeding. Like,
I know
from
you
behind my
are.
head.
I know you are.
She can smell it.
And so you can hear someone coming down the stairs. And the door opens, and there's a older man there, kind of salt and pepper hair, you know, cardigan, sweater with a dress shirt and khakis. He says, "Oh my goodness, are you all okay?"
I'm gonna look him straight in the eyes and go, it'd be a great idea if you let us come in and hang out for a little bit. And I'm using mesmerize on him.
Okay. And so he quickly goes, "Yes, of course, you all look like you've been through hell. Come on in." And he leads you to the living room.
And as we're walking, I'm just gonna ask him, how many people are here?
Myself, my wife, her sister, and her husband.
Would you mind getting them down, or do you think they'll be dead asleep?
I think my sister's, or my, I guess you could call him my brother-in-law.
Ask how old he is.
How old are you?
47.
Okay.
It's fine.
Could you also potentially, there's a truck that's been turned over in the road. This is what happened to us.
It went over a cliff.
Oh goodness, that sounds terrible. Do you need me to call an ambulance?
Not yet. I need you to tell me which room your wife is in. I'm using mesmerize again.
Okay.
And I also need you to sit with these two a little bit. And I'm just chain mesmerizing at this point.
Okay.
And so,
And he says, yeah, my wife is probably playing charades with her sister, upstairs, second door on the right. And,
your sister's husband is a different room then?
the girls decided to stay up and play games. He went to bed.
Oh, so he's upstairs still.
Ask how old
Yes.
the sister is.
How old is everybody?
My sister just turned 40.
Mhm.
We're having a wonderful birthday weekend for her. Her sister is, oh gosh, oh, she'll kill me. I don't remember. I think she's late 30s. I don't think she's hit 40 yet.
I think still about the same age range.
We're fine.
And then her husband, talk of the town, he's 65.
Oh, great.
Don't let me see that guy.
Wonderful. Would you mind, again, just staying with these two a bit and helping them out and mesmerize again? And then to Thomasine, I'm just going to go, make sure she doesn't go too crazy. And I'm going to start going upstairs to the sister's husband's room because he's asleep.
Okay. And what about the two of you?
I stayed outside,
Okay.
and I'm keeping an eye out to see if the truck accident got anyone's attention.
Up here and on this side of the mountain, there is no attention coming up this way.
Okay. I'm just gonna hang out and wait.
Aaron?
I'm keeping an eye on Hex to make sure that things don't get bloodier than they need to.
Okay.
Oh, you came in behind us? Okay, then the same thing I said to Thomasine, I said to you, just make sure she doesn't go too hard. And I go upstairs to the husband's room because he's asleep and the girls are not.
To
And he-
Thomasina, I'm just gonna shake my head and cover up my veins.
I'm just going to turn my head away from him, and I'm going to talk to the gentleman. I am so very sorry.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. You all must have had quite an accident.
I think she also has, I think there might be one or two injuries that are really, really bad. Could you help me kind of get her patched up? I'm going to start leading him to a bathroom that I assume is just kind of like down the hall or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find. The door's kind of cracked open.
Yeah. And I'm going to go over to Hex and just kind of say, like, all right, we really need to, I'm so sorry, I really need to look at that elbow, really, right now. I know you don't think it's a lot, but we need to try and get something wrapped up there. Get them both into the bathroom, and then close the door.
Okay. And so, Hex, you are now alone with the gentleman.
I'm
Oh, I'm there.
going.
Oh, with.
I'm in there, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feed.
Okay.
And
How much are you taking from him? After 2, I will need to roll for him to survive. but 2 will stabilize you.
I'll take 2.
It's up to you. You can take more if you wish.
There are more people in this house.
Maybe he does CrossFit.
Yeah, I'll stick with. Nah, I want to try 3.
Okay.
Better roll for that
Let
guy.
me roll for him.
Godspeed.
He does survive.
Okay.
After you take the 3rd, he kind of pulls back a little bit. He goes, whew. Whew, I think I had a little too much to drink earlier. You mind if I sit down? Are you guys okay cleaning up in here by yourselves?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. There should be a first aid kit in the closet for bandages and things if you need.
Absolutely. Do you mind going ahead and do you need anything else while you kind of get patched up? I'm gonna talk to him about a couple of things.
Oh, good. Gonna go first aid.
All right. If you need anything, just let me know, okay? And I'm gonna turn over to him and just say, the rest of this night is going to be a good time to be very quiet. And I'm going to use mesmerize for that
He
one.
goes, okay.
How much blood is on the in this guy's house now?
You guys have tracked in a decent amount, as your stigmata, being at Hunger 4, did drip some. It's not noticeable, but it looks like maybe the equivalent of someone cutting their hand on a wine glass.
Okay.
So not too much, but it is a noticeable amount.
Okay. And I'm gonna assume that you use mesmerize on this guy, so I'm gonna go to the kitchen instead of the first aid, and I'm going to look for a wine glass and some glass,
Okay.
and I'm going to. Am I gonna find it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's plenty of wine glasses, wine bottles, some whiskey glasses, some
Okay.
that were already out from clearly earlier.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take one. I'm gonna take a glass and a wine, and I'm going to drop it in the kitchen,
Okay.
near where kind of along the
The
trail
path that you
yeah,
went to
and
to the
kind of just
bathroom.
drop it nearby.
Okay.
And did I hear that they called 911 at all?
They did not.
He has not
Okay,
called
because you guys are
911.
doing your thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop it and go back outside.
Okay.
I'm also going to turn back to the guy and just say, I'm really sorry, but you're going to need to give me your phone and use mesmerize one more time.
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
And I'm just going to pocket it.
Okay.
Very hex move of you.
Okay, Anton?
I'm going upstairs past whatever door I can hear the charades happening into the door that he designated for the.
Yeah, you do hear one going, the notebook, the notebook, the notebook. It's got to be the notebook.
It's not the. And I just very quietly open the other bedroom door and slip in.
Okay. And he is in there sawing logs. He is absolutely out of it. He completely reeks of extremely expensive whiskey.
I just go. I'll sleep it off in the morning, and I'll just walk right up to him, not even wasting time, and just clamp right down and taking 2 off
Okay.
of him.
Okay. And so you take 2, and he is still out like a light, but you do get buzzed from it.
No, I need it right now. I'm gonna look out the window really quick. Just getting a time check.
It has begun to get lighter, as these homes have a wonderful view of the city that also means they have a completely unimpeded view of the sunrise.
Shit. And I'll head downstairs in a bit of a rush, and just I guess you're the only one that's here at this point. It's getting light out. We either need to go right now, or we need to stay here,
We need to find a basement or a garage or something.
or we just tell them to leave.
If they're here, it's one less thing for us to have to cover up.
They can find us. If they go on vacation, if they go to a hotel, then they're not here.
I mean, fuck it, fine. And I'm gonna say, or I'm gonna start looking around. for Jackson and Aaron.
Okay.
I'm standing outside with Hex now.
Yeah, I was outside too.
As the older man steps out, I'm just gonna say, give him a few touch-ups on his hair, on his face, on any bite marks, closing up any wounds.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and talk. And I'm just gonna, as she walks out to group up with them, I'm gonna talk with them. Just go, you know, I think, from what I hear, now is actually the perfect time for a bit of a family trip, an excursion. And I'm slowly using forgetful mind on him
Okay.
to rewrite tonight into him planning to like last minute vacation with the group. And once he gets them up, I'm going to be hitting them again to go along with it.
Okay. And he does get them up. You're racing against the clock at this point. They are moving a little bit slow since the brother is drunk asleep.
Yep. And so I'm just immediately going to go outside to Thomasina and just going to hold my wrist in front and go. I can take one of them before they go.
I'm going to go back into the house and grab a cup out of one of the cupboards, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, bleed.
And I'll bleed. And I'm just going to go until she says stop.
How many hungers worth?
I was at 3,
Mhm.
so let's go down 2.
Okay. So Anton, you will go up by 2.
Yep. And I'll just close it and I'll go back and I'm just going to go back inside. And I'm going to stand off to the side and like out of sight for when these people come downstairs to slowly do the exact same thing to them.
Okay. And do you intend to pick one of them off for your hunger?
I am, but I'm going to be like convincing them to go, and as I convince them to go, I'm going to pull one to the side. One of the
Which
women.
one?
One of the women, not the guy I've already
Okay.
fed off of.
Okay. And how much will you take from the woman?
2 again. So
Okay.
his wife might be the one that wants to drive at this point.
Okay.
And I'll even suggest as much.
Okay.
All right.
And so you do see them come out and get in their car, talking about going on a wonderful family trip. And they pull off just as the light outside is starting to gain an orange hue.
While Anton is people managing, I want to be going in the house and looking for a bunker room of some sort, some kind of interior, even a playroom or something.
So they have a large interior bathroom
Okay.
with no windows. There is a wine cellar. It's not as big and accommodating, but it could probably fit 3 of you comfortably, all 5 of you uncomfortably. And then there is a game room with like a pool table and
Okay.
some like a jukebox.
I'll share that as people are going in.
I'm literally just sitting on the floor, just exhausted, having like the mental rack manipulate everybody. But as they come in, they won't even remember it the whole evening. We're fine.
What'd you find?
There's rooms for all of us. Cellar, bathroom, game room. Pick one, bunker down. I'll see you tonight.
Cellar it
Hello.
is.
I go upstairs to the main bedroom closet.
Okay.
Is there a window in there? Because how
No.
much people have those?
No, it's a large walk-in with one of those big round poof chairs in the
Okay.
middle.
Yep, sleeping in there.
Okay.
I take one last look outside and then lock the door, and I'll just go for the cellar.
Mine. Yeah. Also going downstairs to the cellar.
Right.
Okay.
Take the bathroom. I'm gonna message Alejandro where we are, what we found, and as I'm getting sleepy, kind of who all was with us.
Okay.
I should actually do this. I'm pin dropping to Georgina,
Okay.
and not even a message, just pin dropping to her.
I'm gonna also send to Daddy in Delphine's phone.
Okay.
So I think I knew who that is now. So I'm just-
And storyteller, before I like really settle down, I'm gonna take that man's phone, and I'm just gonna do like a quick browse through it for photos, just to see like family-wise if there's anything unusual about them.
Nothing unusual. They're kind of one of those new money type couples, sail around the world kind of things. No kids, dink family.
Okay. And no pictures of them, say, with like being good buddies with their neighbor.
No.
Cool. I'm gonna put that back in the pocket.
The closest that you get is there are some party images on a yacht. That's about it.
Okay. I'm gonna hunker down for the night.
Oh yeah, you were feeling a bit buzzed too, because I took like 2 off of this guy.
I'm gonna hunker down real heavily.
Yeah.
tonight.
All right.
Just curl up, bag against my chest.
And so everyone is heading to sleep. All right. And so you all hunker down in your respective spots. Passing out this time. Not much time to really get in place and get a comfortable position as the sunrise comes and you fall deep asleep. As you begin to wake up the next night, I need everyone to first give me a rouse check.
This rouse check heals superficial damage off of us, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
You'll be good with your total. So will I.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
As a bestial, regretting my life choices, unlife choices.
So we will
have
rule that
healed.
you have not been able to heal your superficial wounds,
Okay.
as it is a bestial.
Does that put hunger up too as well?
You will go up 1.
Okay.
But your superficial will remain.
Compromise.
And so,
Okay, where's this going?
All your superficial's gone. With what you have, you're good.
opening your eyes, you each find yourself by yourself in a clear box. And when you stand, there's a hole about the size of your hand with a receptacle underneath it, with a tube running to a lock outside the door, with a sign above it of an old, faded Quick Drop sign from a Blockbuster video rental store. And you see on the receptacle tubing, it is stained with blood, and each box has a number inscribed on the front of it. Jackson, 1. Thomasina, 2. Anton, 3. Hex, 4. And Aaron, 5. Looking around, you can see that you are each on a platform on your own in this round room. In the middle, there are several large coil devices, and around you, your platforms have been flooded in the negative space with water, and electricity is wildly shooting through it, preventing you from going anywhere but your own platform. You're going to have to find a way out.
Amazing.
And on one side of the room is a door, but it's completely inaccessible at the moment due to being metal and underwater. It is taking a lot of electricity as well. So you're going to have to find your own way out.
Storyteller, the coil devices that are at the center of the room, metal?
Yes.
Any particular kind of metal?
Not that you can tell from here.
Okay.
They're quite high up. They are probably about 30 feet.
Okay.
We can see each other.
Yes, you can see each other, and there are small holes in the box, generally almost like a breathing hole, so you can communicate with each other.
So our boxes are not entirely underwater, at least.
No, you are in your box on a platform. Between every platform and the main floor is the electrified water.
And there's a door that is a potentially way out, but it is also submerged.
Yes.
Okay. More of a trap door.
What in the Squid Games portal are we in right now?
I was thinking something else.
Storyteller, this room was very, very specifically built for this.
Yes.
Does it remind me at all of anything I would have seen at the SI?
No.
Do I have my bag with me?
No.
Fun.
All of your personal effects, such as jewelry, phones, bags, anything of that nature, is gone. You still have general clothes on your back. Nothing too personal was taken from you. But you pretty much have just about your clothes, and that's it.
Does this look like a warehouse or a... Can we get like a feel of like what other kind of space this is? Does it look like a warehouse or a garage or...
This room is entirely concrete.
Okay. Wonderful.
I don't think it takes a lot of pondering to figure out what he wants us to do. I'll just point at the 5 receptacles with the tubes attached to them. The question is, do we want to?
Be kind, rewind, I guess. And I'm gonna slash my wrist open and stick it in without even waiting.
Okay. And so you put your hand through and your blood drains into the receptacle, into the tube, and towards the lock. Please mark yourself up to hunger as you hear the lock unlatch.
You right?
I will be. I'm gonna push it open.
All right. As you push it open and you step out, around you clamps a clear glass Iron Maiden full of wooden stakes, just barely missing you.
Well, tread carefully.
Apparently.
Fuck. Storyteller, I'm at 4 hunger now as well.
Okay.
Can we? So
That
what do we?
beast is clawing at your throat right now.
We just saw that happen.
No,
You
so
are
what-
going to need to be very careful. Yes, Hex?
What do we see happens to him? So he walks out, and then something comes into him.
He walks out, and you see from behind him, you had not noticed before in the low light, the Iron Maiden clamps around him.
Got it. So you walk right into that. And
Maybe we're supposed to be waiting until all 5 are filled.
Took a lot, so be careful. And I actually glance over at Aaron when I say that.
Your lock is done. You're number 1.
Yeah.
Who's next? Do we have to do this?
We have to do this in order.
let's try.
The number 2 box is Thomasina.
Yep. We should at least try.
I mean, we certainly don't have to. There are ways out of this, but then I'll point at the electrified water. I'll point at the closed Iron Maiden.
I'm going to, a storyteller, I'm going to look like around and behind. Would I notice anything like potentially just outside of the light that might also be unusually textured with many spikes?
Nothing that you can notice at this very moment, and you notice that the door on your receptacle is closed.
Storyteller, how well can I see through the Iron Maiden that I'm in? You said it was clear, but
The Iron Maiden itself is clear, you can see everyone, but there are enough spikes that it is difficult to see.
I will activate Eyes of the Beast, just so that I can get a better look around the room and see if theirs are similarly trapped, so I can warn them.
None that you can see yet.
Okay.
You do notice as you were looking around, please give me wits and awareness.
Yeah. And I'll activate heightened senses as well.
Okay.
5.
5. You don't get much from the room, but you do get that above Aaron's platform, on the ceiling, is a box with a lock on it.
Aaron, there's something above you.
I look up. Do I see anything clearer or closer?
You see a box, roughly about this big,
Okay.
and it has a small lock on it.
Your boxes don't seem to be...
And it is close to the coils.
It's outside the box, like on top of my cage, essentially.
Yeah, it's directly up on the ceiling,
Gotcha.
but close to the base of the coils.
Did you say this loud enough for us to hear, or just...
Yeah.
Alright, and it's close to the coil, so let's look up...
Power.
Power?
Yeah.
Bird?
If I can get out of this. Yours don't seem to be similarly trapped as mine.
How far away is Aaron's cube from mine?
Aaron would be across into there. You're in order, circular order, so Aaron would be more across from you.
Okay.
Storyteller.
Yes.
If I did get out and shift into a bird, does it look like I could shift back at the box or perch on it to use corrosive vitae to open it, or is it...
The box is pretty much in the ceiling,
Okay.
and there is so much electricity going through the room you would not be able to make it across.
Okay.
There's electricity in airborne as well?
Yes.
Okay.
These are like
coils.
Tesla coils.
Okay, gotcha.
Is there a camera in this room that we could tell?
What's in awareness, please?
I'm trying for this.
There.
One, two, three. No, wait, one
Hunger.
hunger die. Three.
Okay.
And stars. Stars is crit. Three's is stars.
So, and what are you checking for again?
Cameras. In the
Yes, there are 5 cameras in this room pointed at each of you.
room. Okay. Noted.
I would activate Oblivion Sight.
Okay.
And what do I see?
Across the platforms, you see about 10 burnt, pained wraiths. They do not hold their form quite well.
To them, I'm just going to ask, which one's next?
And one of them reaches and points to Jackson.
We test subjects before us. You just went.
Oblivion Sight, just to see what the hell he's talking
Do I
about.
need... Wait.
It's your turn again.
And you see all their hands are reaching to point to Jackson.
Alright.
Does he have to completely clear?
I can break these, but I need to be careful.
I could potentially break mine, but who knows if
You said that it's wooden. It's filled with wooden stakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reach and just grab one near my hand and snap them, and see if I can do that without like jerking too much to stab myself. Like taking like scratches won't matter, but obviously I don't want to stake myself.
You are able to snap them.
All right, and then I'm just going to methodically start breaking one at a time, freeing more space for my arms.
For
So,
that, please give me...
crack.
To do all of this, let's call it dexterity and survival.
Can we tell what the... Does it look like it's made of glass? Does it look like it's made of plexiglass? Or can we tell?
Can't really tell. It's a
Okay.
clear, shiny substance.
Okay.
5.
5. So it roughly takes you about a half an hour.
Wow.
But you are able to slowly break all of them that could hinder your escape.
Okay.
And you are able now to open the Iron Maiden if you wish.
And I will just slowly push it open, but like wait to make sure something else doesn't happen.
And so as you
And I
push it
still have heightened
open,
senses on.
as you push it open, you hear the sounds of chains releasing. As the back of the Iron Maiden was being held together by chains with hooks on them that have now released from it. And they have swung over to Aaron's platform, but they are high up against the wall due to the swing. They are very high up in the air.
Well,
I think we've got a pendulum timer now.
In that half
And
hour time,
Thomasina,
Yeah.
your receptacle is now open.
in that half hour time, the door on this, like I imagine it doesn't look like there's any handle or hinge. It just sort of is.
It just is.
In the half hour time that he's doing that, I'm going to just bite my palm and drag my hand straight down approximately where the door was on his for corrosive vitae, just to see what happens to it.
Nothing.
All right. So, yep, I'm good, and just bubbles on the glass and nothing goes.
Correct.
Well, they thought of that one.
I'm going to talk and just yell out, "This took a lot. How much more do you want?"
No response.
And I just sit down, cross-legged on my platform.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at all of them and just say, I honestly don't know if I can get out of whatever happens next. Get out if you can. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut along the side of my hand and then just kind of ball it up and then put it over the receptacle.
Okay. And as your blood pours in, please go up to hunger.
Did you say the door was already open?
Yeah, but your door's open.
The receptacle.
Oh, okay, the receptacle's open.
Yeah.
The receptacle has its own
Misunderstood.
locker.
Yeah, I was like, just walk out the door.
Yeah.
Like an
Yeah,
aperture.
all of your receptacles are closed.
Gotcha.
And so the blood goes down to the lock, and you hear it unlock.
I'm at 3.
Okay. And so your door has now unlocked. What would you like to do?
There's nothing else that seems to be happening in sequence, just the door opens.
The door has merely unlocked.
Unlocked, okay. Anyone else next?
I think you have to finish the part first. Get ready to jump backwards.
For some reason, I feel like this is... I know that it's betting on us doing something that we think is in sequence, but I also know that whoever wants this done wants it done their way.
I'm just sitting like head down in my little glass chamber, like, Thomasina, just go.
Be easier to figure out what he wants if we start playing along a little bit.
I'll go through the
As
door.
unfortunate as that is.
Okay. As you go through the door, your body feels stiff in some places. Maybe you slept wrong. And as you come out, a small table comes wheeling out with a box with 3 shapes of crosses inlaid into the foam. And there's an X-ray with multiple scalpels next to it. The X-ray is of your body with 3 crosses that have been embedded into you. One is in your leg, one is in your abdomen, and one is in your bicep.
Are the leg and the bicep labeled left or right?
Yes, you can see on the X-ray exactly where they are.
Okay. I'll just go and pick up the scalpel and start at my leg.
Okay. And so you are able to make decent work of it. This is not something unfamiliar to you. You have to carve a little deeper than you expected, but you are able to pull out the cross. And it has its own very specific shape, and that shape matches with a place in the container.
I'm gonna put it in there. Anything unlocked for the rest of you yet?
Probably not till you're done. That's the game.
I'm really sick and tired of every single one of you telling me what is and what isn't. And I'm just gonna go ahead at the bicep for the next.
I'll just gesture at my door, not unlocked or not open receptacles.
And so you're able to dig out the bicep. It is in its own unique cross shape, and you can fit it into the container.
For the abdomen. Is it located like deeper, like into the oh god, like deeper into the sac, kind of carrying in the intestine, or how deep is it exactly?
It looks to be outside of your organs. It has not been put into any organs, and it's on the left upper stomach side.
I'm going to kind of do another examination on this one and just kind of like start to feel around.
Pressing, you can feel it under the skin.
Okay. Does it feel or look in the x-ray any more irregular than just being a cross of some kind?
No.
Okay. Just gonna start cutting.
Okay. And so you carve, and it comes out fairly easily. You can, this is the smallest one, so you are able to get just a decent size incision, and if you wish to reach in, you can slide it out.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of try and go around the tissue as much as I can to try and get it just to pry out and then put it in its slot.
And once you put it into the slot, there is a click as the receptacle opens for Anton.
Look at Jackson, rest of them just point at the receptacle and go, if there's any way to get that back or broken before we leave, don't let whoever the fuck this is have it.
Oh, I'm aware.
I'll just cut like with my nail and bleed in.
Okay.
As I'm bleeding in, I just want to get a sense of how well this guy checked everything. And I'm feeling like under my shirt for the picture that I took out of his house.
The picture is gone.
He knows.
Is his bloodstone still embedded in him?
Yes.
Storyteller, as he's bleeding, I'm gonna examine the crosses. Do they appear to be older, newer? Do they appear to be...
They look like they came from an antique shop.
Okay. Are they wood, metal?
Metal.
Are they, like, can I see like a maker's mark of any kind on any side of them? Like they're pretty cheaply bought?
Not really. They look like the kinds that they just have like a hole on the back just for hanging on the wall, like for people who make the collages on the walls and crosses. Okay, and so Anton, please go up to hunger as the blood pours into the tube and your door unlocks.
I'm gonna push the door open and just look.
Okay.
And I'll stick my legs and just like stamp right outside the door just to see if it's like his or like hers or something else. See if there's any pressure sensor thing.
No pressure sensor.
Hand through the door. And then I'll just step through.
He's probably just watching us on cameras, pushing a button.
Probably.
As you step through, the box for Thomasina's crosses slams shut, and the floor below you gives out, and you are dropped into a box that raises up, and you all see Anton in a steel shark cage inside a deep pit of water.
Sharks?
Yeah, just a cage that like holds.
God damn.
Anton, do you have any blocks or banes for holy water?
None.
Then for you, this is just water.
I just stop and go. The fuck is this?
All you guys hear is woof, 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 woof.
I'm literally gonna, just for the hell of it,
shit.
bite, grab onto it for corrosive vita to see if the cage can break open.
So this cage is a very tight-knit, very small squares, but you are able to get through that one little piece.
Then I'm going to.
But you do notice as you do it, the second you let go, the water takes away your blood.
Yep.
You're going to have to be strategic about this.
I slowly like swim, climb towards the corner intersection, and repeat. But I'm gonna press against the part where they all meet.
Okay, on the corner piece.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. But the part like where 3 different walls will meet on it, I'm just gonna press into it to corrode that away.
Okay, you do corrode that corner.
I'm gonna push on the walls to see if they give at all.
They do not.
Swim back to straight to another corner so that the front we'll have 2 corners
Okay.
undone. I'm good. And burn.
And that corner does go away as well.
And now I just want to like, I'm floating in the water, is that right?
Yes, the cage is floating in the water with you.
Then I'm just gonna 2-foot kick on this wall that now has 2 corners released off of it.
It does not budge. This is meant to protect against sharks.
Then I'm going to do this for 2 more corners.
Okay.
Storyteller, there doesn't seem to be like any
Good.
other door or anything leading into the
I'm good.
tank at all. Is there? Like
No.
it's just a self-contained.
The tank itself on the top is open, as that's what Anton fell into.
Then I'm good, and I'm good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, basically on the front wall, corroding away, and then I'm going to give it another solid kick, as it shouldn't be connected to anything anymore.
So as you get the corners, you are able to finally kick it off.
Just kick it off, let it float, just shake my head, and swim out and up.
So as you swim out and up, are you getting out of the cage, or are you just going to the top of it?
I'm
or
going-
out of the water?
I'm getting out of the cage, out of the water. I'm looking before I pull out, just to make sure there's not like a final thing going on. And I'll
Okay.
just rousing fleetness. I'm good, and then I'm gonna pull up out of the water.
Okay. And so as you pull up out of the water and the buoyancy of the cage and the water drop down, you then notice that the hooks above Aaron's have now lowered to where you could easily reach them.
That looks ominous. I guess I'm gonna climb out of the, the area and just back up onto what bit of platform I have left.
Okay. And you are able to. You're completely soaked, but you're able to be on the platform, though you might want to be a little careful with all this electricity running around.
If I get my bag back, I swear to God.
Aaron, do you still have Oblivion side up?
Intermittently. Every time someone finishes a challenge, I want to turn it on, give it a second, turn it off. So let's say it's on now.
Okay. And they have now all begun to point at Hex.
Hex, it's your go.
Is my receptacle open?
Yes. The receptacle on your system has now opened.
All right, I'm gonna like Aaron Yeager bite my thumb and just let it.
With it coming from your thumb, it will take a minute. But
Listen, I'm
after a
Fine.
while, please go up to Hunker
Yep.
as your door now opens or unlocks.
I want to use Ghost in the Machine.
Okay.
Just gonna try it. Just gonna see what happens.
Like with your obfuscate.
Yeah, you'll need to roll for your obfuscate.
Okay.
So you'd roll for unseen passage, and it would also make you invisible to camera.
Oh, I'm up 2.
Just roll 1 for your rouse for unseen passage, though.
So I gotta do Unseen Passage and then I can do Ghost in the Machine?
Ghost in the Mission is part of unseen passage.
Yeah, it's an enhancement as instead of a
good.
separate ability.
Alright, so I'm good on that. And then. Sorry, what was it? I don't
So
know
to
what
you
that-
all, Hex disappears.
That's just
Oh, that's good.
all right.
And.
We'll just look away when she's like, "Don't look at me."
It's like Mr. Menu.
Oh, does that have to? No, I'm just. Yeah. And so with Ghost in Machine. Sorry. I need to roll for that too?
No, now that you are obfuscated, Ghost in the Machine is active, and so the camera cannot see you either.
Got it. I'm gonna step out.
Okay.
Actually, nope, sorry. I don't want to step out. I'm gonna like foot press and like step back on the platform.
Nothing happens when you foot press.
And how much space is kind of like in front of this platform?
Your platform, your boxes are close to the back of them, and then there is probably about 8 feet in front of you.
8 feet?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to take 1 step out.
Okay. Is that 1 step full body out,
one
or you're doing
step
the
full
foot
body
touch?
out,
Okay.
both feet on the platform.
Okay. So as you do, the floor below you opens. All you guys see is that the floor has opened. but it's opening below your feet, and you are dropped into a pit of thorny wild roses.
That'll break obfuscate.
And you all see as Hex makes contact with this pit of roses. And Hex, if you could please roll me your willpower, as you have a bit of a disdain for roses.
You got this.
So just roll me your unspent willpower.
So it is the 5.
Sounds good. With the
No hunger.
no hunger. This coat is quite cumbersome. I'm a damn it.
That's good.
1, 2, 3 crit.
Okay. You're able to hold it together.
But
And
I'm surrounded by.
you are in it.
I'm in the bush.
You have fallen into this bush.
I am okay.
And it is almost your entire platform's worth of a bush, but could you please now give me wits and awareness?
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's something shiny at the bottom of this pit of a bush.
Okay.
And you can't make out what it is due to the density of the bush.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that there is something catching the light at the very bottom. And that is where we are going to take our break. We're going to get some water, stretch our legs. You all do the same and take care of yourselves. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So, Hex, you have fallen into your pit of roses. You see that there is something shiny at the bottom of it.
So I have fallen, and I'm standing on the ground.
No, you are caught in a tangle of a rose bush.
Wow. Okay. Hate this.
And you can feel tiny little cuts all over you from the thorns.
All right.
Also, my apologies, Thomasina, please take 2 superficial.
I was like, wow, that's nothing.
You must hurt too.
Just a
That makes
scratch.
sense. Okay, yeah.
Oof. All right. I am gonna. Well, I think my obfuscate has dropped.
Yes. So everyone saw you right when you made contact with the thorns and then sank into the bush.
Okay. Something shiny at the bottom, like straight down.
Yep,
And how far estimate can I like? Is like 5 foot,
about 10 feet.
10 feet of. I'm gonna.
It's time for you to swim.
Hex, did you make any sound as you like realized you were in the worst situation
Yeah, I went.
ever? Okay.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna breathe like a little bit, and then I'm just gonna like start like pushing backwards, kind of like foot first to try to get to the bottom.
Okay, so you're essentially trying to just like push the roses around you to get through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like move. Yeah. Like just kind of like climbing backwards.
Okay.
Until I get to the bottom of this whatever I'm in.
Okay. So as you are pushing through, please take a superficial damage
Okay.
for
Just one.
the thorns cutting.
Just one damage.
As
Oh, sorry.
they're merely scrapes, but at this point you are covered in them.
Yep, hate it.
And your foot does eventually touch the bottom.
Okay. How far am I from? Is it like right below me, this shiny thing?
It's probably 2 feet out from where you landed.
Okay. And are there rose thorns on the bottom too? So it's just
It's everywhere.
okay. So I'm gonna try to like kind of slowly push through until I can at least get like where I'm standing right above the shiny thing.
Okay. So as you're pushing through, you will take another superficial,
Cool. Cool.
and your hand is able to touch the top of something metal.
Okay. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay? It is a key.
Of course it is. Got a key, guys.
What
So-
kind of key does it look like?
This looks like a generic box key.
It's a keyblade.
I start looking up at the box above me to see if there's a keyhole.
There is.
Okay. I'm gonna put the key in my mouth. Is it like it's like a this
Yeah.
would- Put the key in my mouth, and I'm going to try to do soaring leap to get out.
Okay.
'Cause
Just ripping off a band-aid.
You don't have to roll anything. You just jump.
Yep.
you just jump.
So that will be another superficial as you are not being careful. But you are able to go straight up
Okay.
and with a little bit trajectory land outside the pit. And once you are outside the pit, the doors over it shut. And the receptacle on Aaron's box is now open.
I'm gonna spit the key out into my hand, and I don't know. Like, so we're in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Could I jump to where this lock is?
No, the box is directly over Aaron's. That would
Okay.
require you to successfully get through a wall of electricity.
Okay.
You have to soaring leap through electricity and
Nope.
then uncanny grip to it.
Not doing that. Okay. So is there any way for me to? I'm looking around now for a way. How would
The-
he get this key?
The way that the lightning is arcing,
Mm-hmm.
you could, if you were quick about it, throw it through. But trying to get in between the lightning, you are too big to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold on to it until his door is open.
Okay.
I'm looking Oblivion Sight one last time. at the
They are
ghosts.
all staring at you, waiting. And a couple of them are pointing up. And looking out, you see that there are approximately 10 hooks. They're decently small. And they are all connected to a pulley system on the top with a chain coming down on the other side of it.
Okay. But all of that's still outside of my box.
Yes.
I pull open some veins and do what I measure from looking at everyone else before half. So 1 hunger.
Okay. It sinks down, it goes to your door. Nothing happens.
I can't do this.
What do you think will happen?
It's a 2-step breakout. As soon I can't focus enough after this. Whatever happens next, I won't be me anymore.
That may not be what we need to get out of this.
What hunger are you currently at, Aaron?
I'm at 3.
4 now.
Plus 1.
So 4 now.
So once you reach 5, you are in danger of a frenzy. You will have to fail a rouse check after that,
Okay.
or lose considerably more blood to enter a frenzy.
Makes sense that Aaron's scared, though.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just reminding for the group how frenzy goes.
So storyteller,
Yes.
you said that the way the lightning was arcing,
Small
small.
objects could get through.
Mm-hmm.
like a sparrow.
No.
Just
The size of sparrow that you would need to be to get through is too small for you to be capable of.
Yeah.
hummingbird.
I don't know if the hummingbird can move the key.
There are size limitations on
I was-
shape changing.
So much worried about getting the key. I was more worried about helping Aaron.
I don't know if you can get through the door.
Just help me through if you can.
Yeah.
All right.
Just keep your focus. You'll be fine.
I squeeze the rest of it out.
Okay. You are now at 5, and the hunger is like acid in your mouth, but you are able to hold it together a little bit, and your door unlocks.
I step out. What's next?
The hooks are in front of you, and the box is above you, with the pulley system.
I start looking at the specters now. I grab one of the hooks and make an intention to put it in and see if they respond.
And they nod.
Great.
Do you have to do it that way? I just see him doing this.
I'm not even listening.
Be like, what about your shirt? Try your shirt first.
I rip off the shirt essentially.
That's not how that was gonna work in my brain at all.
Start just tying it off to one of the pulleys to see if I can use that as a handle instead of it in my hand.
So that would only work for one of them. There are 10.
Cool.
You're gonna see on Aaron's chest bite marks and claw marks and gashes that never healed from his turn. And he's putting hooks in feet and hands and thighs. If there's a hook, he's just gonna find a spot for it.
Okay. And Hex, what are you doing with the key now that he is out of his box?
I am holding on to it until I can figure out where. I guess he's gonna pull himself up to the box.
Really quick, before he puts the last hook in, I go, Aaron, stop for a second.
Hmm.
Humor me. Take that last one, swing it towards her, and just catch it.
Sure. Chuck it as far as I can.
It does swing over to you, Hex.
I'm gonna catch it.
Is the hook large enough for the key, large or small enough for the key to actually hook onto it?
It is.
Let's go. Key.
And I'm gonna
Back.
swing it back.
It's a little saliva.
And you do get the hook with the key.
I hold on to the key,
Best I got.
and
It worked.
here we go. Start pulling upwards.
And as you pull, it takes the hooks a second to catch the slack. And you feel your body hoisted. The hooks pulling, though you were able to reasonably choose places where the pulling is lessened.
Gotcha.
And you pull and you pull and you pull 30 feet up as the hooks are digging deeper, but you do reach the box up top.
Key it in the hole.
Okay, and when you open, you see an electrical box with an off switch.
And with as much oblivion glitchiness as I can, deliberately flick it off. It'll never turn on again.
And there is a short circuit that almost burns your hand as all of the coils in the room go out. You will need to lower yourself back down.
I'm getting over to Aaron's platform as
Yeah.
fast as I
Same.
can,
Yep.
even if it's like
ready.
swimming through.
Okay.
How far is it from me?
The water between the platforms is about 3 feet wide,
Oh,
so
Alright.
you could easily jump.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
okay.
jumped
Then I'll
over.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, not touching water, jumping on grass.
It was the electricity that was the issue. And just wait for you to get down before it's.
As far as I can and get down, start unhooking.
Do you need
I'm
help?
gonna help him if he lets me.
I'm fine. Yeah. Let's meet our host.
Hex, were you able to see any cameras?
Yep, there's how many in this room, Swordtail?
Five pointed at your
One
platforms.
for each of us.
And Aaron, do you have Oblivion sight up?
Yes.
They are motioning towards the door. And they look jealous.
Can I try to get them to come with me?
They don't follow.
We're good to go.
Okay.
I'll check the door. You said the door was underwater.
It was probably 1/3 of the way submerged,
Okay.
enough to keep the door electrified.
Okay. I will step down into the water and wade over to it.
Okay. You are easily able to. And the door does not appear to have a lock, just a handle.
Are the receptacles for the blood on the door, or were they on our boxes?
They were on the box and it filled into your lock.
Okay.
So that blood is
Individual
gone.
ones, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Like it just disappeared, or like bled out.
It went into the lock.
Okay.
Yes, go.
And I open the door.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Getting under one of Aaron's arms just to help him in case he needs it.
Waiting to see if Jackson can actually open this door with all that water behind it.
Same, I'm waiting on the platform.
It will take, we'll call it strength and brawl.
Yeah, that's easy. Eight.
8. So it takes a second.
Both are great.
You manage to find good purchase on the handle, and you force it open. And water pours out of the room and seems to drain into a drain on the opposite side of the door.
Slam the door open once I'm able to.
Let's go.
All right.
Yep.
You can tear this guy apart if you want when we find him for it.
You think it's gonna be that easy? It's just gonna be on the other side waiting for us to
We
kill
need
him?
to find something for him as soon as we get out of here. We need to do it. That's the first priority.
What's on the other side of the door?
So as you look through the door, there is a small chamber, and you see someone hunched over a table. Working, but hunched over.
Do I recognize them?
No. It's their back is to you.
Are they wearing anything familiar?
Silence of death. I'm gonna
Same.
push off Anton gently and start walking towards whoever's at the table.
Okay.
I'm going to flank Aaron and just move with him. I'm gonna let him move ahead of me though.
I'm gonna,
Also activating Silence of Death.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, obfuscate and.
Up 100.
And as I go through the door, I'm gonna turn on Ghost in the Machine.
Okay. And Thomasina, what are you doing?
Waiting to see what happens next with the person who's working and see if Aaron ends up sucking him dry.
Okay. And so as you guys get a bit closer, the blonde hair looks a bit familiar, though matted and filthy. And shoulders are hunched over heavily. But the shirt is also familiar. A nice silk, but at this point covered in blood and filth and mud. And you notice that it is Elijah working over an alchemical set. And he startles once he realizes you're there, long after you've made any noise. And he turns around and stands up, his body seeming more crumpled than you've ever seen, and he does his best to move towards you.
Don't.
He's very much not well, and he looks like he's hanging on by a thread. And he looks to you, he says, "Hello, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm glad you got out. Who needs things? How can I help? I'll do what I can. Hold on, I got your things." And he limps, his leg dragging, his shoulders still hunched over, to a box that he brings back and sets on the table away from him and steps back with his hands in the air.
I'm going to walk over to it slowly, just keeping an eye on him.
And the box contains your jewelry, your phones, your bags. Everything is just a large cardboard box full of your effects.
Storyteller, I'm going to reach out my hand towards Elijah and see if he takes it.
And his hand is shaking, but he reaches and accepts your hand.
Okay. I'm going to kind of get him to kind of sit down on the floor with me for a second. And I'm going to just kind of put my hands like around his face and kind of check around his hair, and ask him, would you oblige me by rolling up your sleeve?
He kind of nervously laughs. He goes, I can't do much, but I'll do what I can.
Okay.
And he rolls up his sleeve.
Rolling up his sleeve. I'm going to look to see if there's any incision marks or anything like that.
On his forearm, you don't see anything, but you do see that the skin that is exposed from his satin shirt is bruised and bloodied and contains lots of pock marks.
Okay. In any particular pattern, or does it look just kind of scattershot? Elijah, I don't know if you can tell me if your sire is here, but can you?
No, I haven't seen that guy in years. I don't know where he is these days.
Do you need to go home?
I would like to one day.
One day?
Listen, he just... It's the girl. You gotta do more. You gotta help the girl. Victor has this other girl upstairs.
Where is Sybil?
That's her name. She's upstairs. He doesn't know what to do with her though, and
Where upstairs? And I'm literally digging through my bag and I'm putting things on the floor as I'm talking. Where upstairs?
the only exit out of this room you see is covered by a caged entrance that
Okay.
cannot be broken through with corrosivity.
Yep, that's why I'm putting things on the floor right now.
And
Nice.
he says he just
Hold on.
he doesn't know what to do. He really has no clue what he's doing. He just wants his family back. And they've been dead for over 7 years now. There's nothing I could do. But he's keeping me here. And he's making me try, and he refuses to believe I can't do it.
Elijah, I need you to look at me, and I'm going to activate all for whatever it's worth.
And he does focus on you. And his demeanor drops a little bit. He said he was just experimenting on people, trying to bring them back, and none of it worked.
Is he kind?
Yes. He's not like us at all. That's why he doesn't know what to do. He's just a doctor. He's just been taking people, trying to figure it out, but he caught me while I was downtown and figured out that I wasn't quite normal. He's been keeping me ever since. He thought if he could just find the right formula or now the right kindred, the right anything, that his next experiment would work, but I don't know how to stop him.
We'll work on that. If y'all could try and work on Sybil, finding her, I'm going to try and get Elijah out of here.
Already on
Can't
it.
get out.
What are you doing?
I just put a set of bones on the ground.
You can't get out.
What are you
Alone,
doing?
maybe not.
A way out and a way to get Sybil.
Hold on, Mr.
Storyteller, what else is
Breaking the
in this
macerate
room?
constantly.
I haven't touched anything in the bags. I'm still like just kind of.
It's just an empty lab room.
Okay.
It seems like Elijah was given just a table and some alchemy supplies, and he's just been working down here.
Okay.
And it's a tall circular room with that one entrance that it's got. The cage entrance is almost like a foyer that's probably about 4 feet deep with an iron door behind it. And there are some marks on the caging that looks like Elijah's clearly tried. But Elijah looks worse than any of you have ever seen him.
Are there cameras in this room that I can see?
Yes.
How is the cage anchored?
You can't tell from this point, but it goes into the concrete. He says he keeps me drained enough just to keep functioning, but not enough that I can do anything about it. I couldn't even get the steak out of that girl, Sybil. I tried.
Have you fed in any way?
No. He just brings me enough to keep me going.
Yeah.
He has so much of my alchemy up there right now. And he's been too public. He has to go down a human way. Everything here is recorded.
Recorded where?
If I knew I could do something about it. But all I know is he's got it tied to something, and if he dies, it all goes to the public, and it will destroy the masquerade. We have to find another way to do this.
And we don't kill him. We take him.
He just wants his family back. That's all he wants. If he got that, he'd stop.
Elijah, did he tell you to send a message to Delphine?
No.
Were you able to send a message to Delphine?
I was able to steal my phone a couple times,
Okay.
and then he caught me and reprimanded me.
I can whisper in this state, right? Without breaking it?
Like softly, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go, like, towards Thomasina and Elijah. Just be like, find a way to open this door.
I don't have a way to open this door.
Train
Talk to the
him,
boys with the
get
tools.
him. Oh, we need to almost kill him. And Aaron is hungry. I'm hungry. If he dies, it's over for the doctor.
I have blood. I have blood if you need it.
Aaron needs it.
Aaron definitely needs it.
I have Aaron. Come here. And he kind of crawls across the floor to a box. Just an old, filthy, camping thing. And he starts pulling out bags of blood to hand to you.
You might want to take a step back. To Elijah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he steps back, hunching over.
Whatever's there, I'm not even going to count. Just start.
He hands you roughly about 7 bags.
That's a lot.
While Aaron is drinking, I'm gonna walk over to the cage. And I'm gonna see if I can move it.
Okay. Strength and brawl.
Seven crit.
You pull and it doesn't budge. But you can it makes a noise at your attempt that echoes through the tower.
Would you like some help with that?
Figured I'd give it a shot. All right, what do you got up your sleeve?
Elijah just shakes his head, just says there's no escape. Just, if you know of anything that brings people back from the dead, please.
Unfortunately, I'm not that clan, but I'm
Who
borrowing.
is?
Takata.
You haven't met them yet, have you?
No.
If we had one of those, we might be able to talk to something, but it wouldn't be the way that he wants it.
Don't we?
Can we get one?
We can't resurrect people.
Gertie.
Who's Gertie?
Rosalini.
She chose a different path,
Did she?
as far as I'm aware.
Exactly, as far as you're aware.
What can we do?
Well, first we need to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Then we can figure it out.
My
We won't
notebook.
get out of here without helping him.
I'm gonna see if my notebook is in the possessions.
It is.
Shadowrite to Alejandro. Can you find me and send that?
And you get the response of ink blots on the page. The words are not coming through.
All right.
Anything?
I can
Interference.
What do you got?
I can make something that can possibly get through that to get Sybil. If we can handle this guy,
Oh, yeah.
Can
We
you
can.
already walk through walls?
the rest of you can't.
But whatever's on the other side.
You
who is
hear
it?
the door open,
Yeah.
and in strides a man, holding a few vials in his hands, brown hair to his shoulders, sharp features, and a crimson suit. You recognize him as the man from the photo.
Or we can talk until he shows up.
He says, well, well. Elijah wasn't kidding about your resilience. I must say I'm extremely impressed. I'll review more of the footage later. No doubt you have your own special ways of defying death. That is what is so interesting about you. You see, I have tried for years to uncover the way to spit in the face of death, and yet here you all are, just doing it freely. I have wasted so much time and so many valuable bodies to find what you do so brazenly every night.
Not altogether freely.
How close does he get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is only just inside the door.
Okay.
He says, you see, without my family, I am just simply not there. I have
Clearly.
killed a lot of people. So you see, if you want me to stop killing people, you're gonna help me and you're gonna give me your secrets and I will get my life back.
I don't know if you want our secrets.
How big is this door?
It's quite large. It's probably about 10 foot by 5 foot.
Because I'm so obfuscated, could I climb up around him and get on the other side of the door?
No, the cage covers completely the area around the door.
You'd also break off his cage if you start climbing.
Really? God.
Yes. Because you have uncanny grip and whatnot, so it'd just be like making too
Oh, I
much
thought you
noise.
just do that. Okay, well, I'm just going to stand, like, against the wall.
So, who wants to start talking and giving me your little secrets?
Oh, me. Pick me. I would love to talk to you for as long as it possibly takes.
Oh.
What you want?
No, sugar. I like your fire, though. You're a lot like my wife.
Or look at Jackson just
You
step
more
back
than you know.
with my stuff.
Sure.
Well,
Me. You've got my sister.
oh, she's your sister. That explains a lot.
So I have. You hold all the power here.
Yeah, I do. And now I know she's even more valuable to you than I did before.
And if you touch her, I will.
I already touched her when I put a stake through her
Then
heart.
you'll die quicker.
Storyteller, I'm gonna go ahead and just start walking over to the man and see if I can put a hand on him.
The cage is too far out. You would not be able to reach through to him.
Is it possible for me to move out of his direct line of sight when he's talking to Aaron?
Not in this room, as it is a circular room and all there is a table.
No, just like, because he's in the doorway. If Aaron's over here, can I just move, like, around I'm staying by the cage. Like, I'm right at the cage. So I'm just kind of shift.
He's still
to the other
keeping an
side.
eye on all of you. He's not really focusing attention on one person.
Can he see me, though?
Not yet, as you haven't made a sound or interacted with anything.
Double checking.
And he just kind of wiggles the vials in his hand and goes, Now, everyone don't get too hasty. I have way more fun rooms.
And money.
Plenty of it. And I will do anything to get my family back.
Storyteller. I'm going to shapeshift.
Okay?
And I don't get hungrier. And I shift small enough to go through the bars. And I am going to shift down, go through the bars, shift back, and I'm on top of him.
Before you do that, as you start to go through the bars, please take me 3 aggravated damage.
Okay.
And you are knocked back from electric shock, or so you think it is, from trying to go through the bars. And he just starts laughing. He goes, oh, you almost got me. That was a good one. I like that. Shape-shifting, that's a new one. I'm gonna have to put that in my notes. Thank you for that information. It was a good attempt. I'll give it to you. Very clever. I wouldn't suggest trying it again.
What would you suggest trying?
Some honesty. I would suggest you start brainstorming and figure out how to get my family back.
In what capacity
Easy.
do you want your wife back?
Whatever capacity it takes.
No, you have to be more specific than that, because we will give you a variety of options and you will not like them all. So,
I think you underestimate me.
do you want her spirit? Do you want her shambling corpse? Do you want
Her semblance?
her semblance? Do you want her restored to normal? There are many options, and not all of them are nice. Not all of them are possible.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Which one do you want?
I want it all.
You can't have it all because not all of it is possible.
Well then, I think you know exactly what I want. So I'm gonna give you all a little time to think about it. 'Cause me confessing to all of you, this confession means nothing. You're all too set in your little secret society, so since you're being hostile about helping me, I'm gonna go prep my evidence while I give you all time to think. Enjoy.
Wait. Okay,
And
hold
on his way
Oh,
out,
no, I want to try something.
on his way out, he clicks a little remote, and Huey Lewis in the News starts playing through a PA system in the room as he storms out, slamming the door behind him, and Elijah just sort of wilts down with his head in his hands. Says, "We have to do something. Can you get the Hakata? Any of them. I don't know of any in the city. If you know of one."
If what he says is true, then there's one, but she is not very reachable by normal means. I don't suppose any of you have a pigeon on board.
Absolutely no chance of her talking to this guy unless he lets us out first.
Yeah.
Well, she can't get to him, yeah?
Maybe you can tell him he can find her, and then if he fucks up, it's on him. If she
And-
kills
And
him,
then
it's
we're
on him.
trapped here.
And then we're trapped here. We've reached the masquerade more than normal, which I'm already ready to do even more
If
at
he
this point.
does go out to find her, that's him not here.
That'd be the first time he's left since he took me.
If he thinks there's enough promise, he'll do it.
We'd have time.
how do you call him? How do you tell him you want to talk? Or does he just come down here whenever he wants?
I just usually wave at the camera, and he comes down here.
I'm gonna make eye contact with Jackson. I'm just gonna like tap my head, see if he gets what I'm getting at. And then I'm gonna use telepathy and go, what if we sent him to anybody else? Like the prince. Like the scourge. Like Dot. To be handled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send him to Dot.
He doesn't know.
She'll be able to help him.
One way or another.
That's a lot of potential exposure to the rest of that clan. As much as I don't like her.
Well, we can only get him to the entrance. She has to come get him.
Mm-hmm.
And that will at least buy us time. And I'm gonna point. Our phones were in there, yes, you said?
Yes.
I'll point at like the phones in the boxes, go, or you can text her and see if she wants in.
All right. I'll grab my phone
Okay.
and I will see if I have any reception.
You do. It's one bar, but there is reception.
Okay. And I'm going to text Dot, saying, found the suit. Mind if we point him towards you?
No response for a bit.
And if he doesn't let us out when he goes out for his merry walk, we can try other ways of getting through. Or we can just try now and see if we surprise him, but could go a variety of ways.
A message does come back and says, "Why are you sending him to me?"
And I'll text back. Not in a position to take care of the situation. You might be.
You get back, "What does he want?"
His family.
You get back a question mark.
His resurrected family.
You get back necromancy question mark.
And yes.
You get 1 moment. And no response for a while.
Just look at her texting. Is this more than a yes or no on sending him this way?
She's getting her information. I'm giving her what we can. I don't know if she'll be into this. I don't know if we'll be abandoned for this. I have no idea.
I'm gonna go back to Thomasina. Why can't we send them to the prince?
I was hoping to send him to Dot for the exact same reason you want to send him to the prince. To just take care of him.
I'm also going to shoot another message saying Hex is with us.
But one's the prince.
Dot will be able to deal with his safeguards better.
And in a more discerning fashion.
You get a message back. "I refuse to risk the Nosferatu on my way to Piedmont."
All right.
You got anything?
She's on her way to Piedmont.
Great. We tell him that somebody that can help him will be in Piedmont Park.
And I just look at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to text saying camera feed here. Unsure if you'd like that.
You get back, "I have no idea where you are."
I'm gonna use my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't, like, I'm still obfuscated. I can't,
Mhm.
like, show you where it is, but, like, use my phone.
The lowest brighting setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're obfuscated, you can use your phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to risk it. 'Cause
Your
I
Your
wanna
phone
try
is also
something.
obfuscated.
Your phone is obfuscated and you can use your phone.
Oh, I didn't have. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I didn't have
it's
it.
in the
Yeah,
box
Yeah.
of
it was,
stuff.
you picked it up.
I'll go ahead and get Hex's phone. And
But
I
you
just
want to
say,
Yeah.
yeah. Which number? What do you have it under?
Mom.
I'm gonna text Mom. Any trace from this?
And you get back nothing.
Send her a fucking pin drop.
I'll try to do that.
Doesn't go through.
Yeah.
Only one bar of service.
Take a picture.
Location services do not work
Yeah.
here.
Take a picture of Elijah.
I will take a picture of Elijah and see if that file will send.
Well, no, I didn't expect that to send actually. I just wanted to have a picture of it on my phone. On the phone.
Cool.
It's trying to send, but it does ultimately fail.
Yeah.
Do you want to call him back?
I'm gonna step over to Elijah. Why follow the 7 blood bags?
You drank all 7?
Yes, I drank.
Oh, fudge. Well, you better hope that whatever I try next is not gonna hurt me. Okay.
Do you have a shirt?
I only have this one.
Can I have your shirt?
Yes.
Thank you.
And Elijah undoes his filthy satin shirt and takes it off, and you guys see that his body is pocked and bloodied and beaten and bruised and misshapen from broken bones. He seems almost unable to heal from anything that has happened to him from the last few days. And he hands you his shirt.
You keep it.
Aaron.
Oh, a week ago I would have wished many bad things for you to happen, and I'm sorry to see you like this.
You were within your right to wish bad things on me.
Wishing is one thing.
You got your wish.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? If you could wave a magic wand, get or kill anything.
I just want him to have his family back because I know he'll stop.
Elijah, he won't.
He will.
You
I know he will.
know what form he would get his family back in.
He's lost focus entirely.
I don't really care.
Then we send him to somebody that can help him one way or another. I'm just gonna look at the camera and whistle.
If he gets shambling corpses, he gets shambling corpses. At this point,
Maybe they'll eat him.
he won't even care. He's been driven mad by wanting them back, and I
Wait.
can't blame him,
He wants them back. You think no matter what?
no matter what.
I'm gonna look
That's
at
what he
Thomasina.
said.
I'm gonna look straight at Thomasina.
That's what I was getting at before, and if he wants not just the semblance, then there's not a lot I can do without knowing who she was.
Well, do it right now and see what happens. Maybe he freaks out and comes in.
Might be just
That might be.
angry.
It didn't go well the last time.
Well, they were also undead.
Speaking of, Aaron, I'm gonna pull the
He has
hoodie
to
I'm
open the
wearing
door.
and off and hand it to you.
Thank you.
He has to open the
Because I still
door.
have a t-shirt and a jacket on.
I hate all of this.
The dirty
but here
shirt
we
is more gangrel, but you keep it.
I'm going to kind of whisper, Max. Yeah. Can you cloak me for a second?
are. You have to make,
I don't know if
you have
she
to make
can
another roll of
Do Cloak the Gathering
obfuscate.
while she's still. I don't know.
All right.
It'd be another rouse check to extend
So-
it.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
rouse check to
Okay.
cloak.
And I am at
multiple
4,
So-
and I was trying to use irresistible voice on this dude to try to just get him to come through. I don't know how well that was gonna work. So you either get irresistible voice or you get cloaked the gathering.
I say just don't do it.
What do you want?
Um,
And Elijah's looking at you all confused. He goes, Why are we trying to make this complicated? Just give him what he wants.
That's what I'm saying.
Just turn. You don't need to be invisible to do that.
no,
If
but
he dies, everything comes out, and he has more than you know. He's got so much
Then we either
on all of us.
have to get him to Piedmont Park, or we have to get him through this door. Which one do you want to do?
I was hoping for something that was slightly. I don't think it'll take. I can try, but I don't think it will matter.
Then don't do it, and we send him to Piedmont Park.
Send him to Piedmont.
This is our only here option if we want to see about him opening the door versus Jackson trying and me trying. Otherwise, we just send him back and we have time.
Regardless of what we think about her other motives,
I know she can handle him.
and she's not going to put her at risk.
No.
I know that she can handle him one way or the other.
So-
Just text her not to kill him. Please. If he dies and it all goes out into the open.
Tell her it's a masquerade risk, I guess.
I'll just say detain, contain, no kill.
And you get back, why?
Too much of a risk to the masquerade.
And you get back, fuck. Then I know what to do. Send him.
I'm just gonna whistle again at the camera. And just
And Elijah
waiting.
shakes his head. He goes, I have to do it.
Hurry up.
And it takes a minute, but the door opens again. The man strides in again, twirling a vial like a coin between his fingers. Well,
Piedmont Park.
and what awaits me in Piedmont Park? One of your
Someone
little
who can
friends to
help
kill
you.
me?
No, because we know that killing you is a bad move on our end. So it's somebody that can maybe actually help you, because we certainly can't.
And how can they help me?
She is one of the most resourceful people that I know. If she has any way to help you, she will use it. And if there's anybody that can find the way to help you, it will be her.
And what is this person's name? I can't very well go walking around Piedmont Park just asking strangers.
She'll find you.
Yep.
Trust me, she will find you.
Okay, I want to try something.
Okay,
It may be complex, so it's hear
Go
me
for
out.
it.
okay.
I want to drop, but I want to use irresistible voice,
Okay.
which says it's no cost,
Yeah.
no rouse check.
It just means he has to listen to
He
you.
has to listen to me.
Mhm.
And I want to use mesmerize, which is a rouse check.
Well,
Okay.
if he's unsuspecting, then no. But
Okay, then
if he is suspecting,
is
then
there a way
yes.
to?
He is suspecting.
Okay, then it's a check.
Okay, he knows I'm somewhere, but he's gonna be looking at me when I drop.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to say, once I drop, if you find the Nosferatu primogen, she will bring your family back.
Okay, are you using manipulation or are you just trying to convince him?
I was trying to use memorize, but I didn't give him like
Oh,
a thing
mesmerize.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, mesmerize gives him a task to do. You're just telling him information right now.
Can I? Okay, no. Then I want to rephrase the sentence. Can I say, you must find, in order to get your family back, you must find the Nosferatu primogen at Piedmont Park.
Okay, make your rouse check.
Or you could just tell him that outright and see what he does.
I think mesmerize requires a rouse check.
No, I know. I mean, instead of using a power, just straight up say it.
Yeah. I can try it the one time, and if he doesn't, I'm gonna rouse
Okay.
check it.
So saying that to him, let's consider that. We'll consider it charisma and persuasion.
Okay, I feel like I'm okay in those. Nope, persuasion's bad, but that's fine.
It's 4 dice.
Charisma's good. 1. All of them are red.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
No messy crits. All
yeah.
right.
Well, maybe, but who knows?
I just throw up on him, like if it's a critical.
Okay, you're good.
I got. No, I'm not. I got.
You're not messy critting, is what I mean.
You are not.
Your definition of good.
Okay, I would like to burn a willpower and roll 3 of these again.
If they're all
they are
under
red.
Oh, they're
yeah.
red. Dang it! I
Not
got
reroll
1. I got 1.
You got one.
Yeah.
He looks at you and grins and just go, and what was it exactly that you told him?
If you want to get your family back, you have to find the Nosferatu primogen.
He goes, I know the movie, but primogen's a new word.
Okay, I'm gonna now do a rouse check, and I'm going to.
You're fine for now.
No.
Yeah, you're fine for now.
7 bags. You had to drink all 7.
We're
You-
right
okay.
there.
If you
regrets.
find, if you want to get your family back, you have to find my mom, and only I know where she is at Piedmont Park.
And
I
he-
only know what she looks like at Piedmont Park.
And he just smiles at you and goes, "Oh, she's someone important. And you're her daughter.
Oh my god, shut up.
Thank you for the collateral." And he turns around and leaves the room.
He's just getting under your skin.
And you get a message
Okay.
after a while. And it's Dot. And she says, "Gertrude Rossellini is in. She wants it done."
Gertie's in.
Do we wait around for this to happen, or do we try to get out of here?
Is he still? He's out of the room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'd rather not be here.
Okay. And I'll just take a step back. There's a skull and 4 bones on the ground. There you go. Then we'll see what you can do. And I'm just going to rip my hand open and bleed onto it and attempt this ritual. I get hungrier.
What hunger are you at now?
4.
Okay.
Yeah, I succeed. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 total. Which is the minimum.
And what are you doing?
Bleed onto the bones. And the blood hits the bones and then starts to form around it. And starts to raise up. And solidify until there's about a 9-foot humanoid in front of me. That's a mix of black and red. And I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna step around in front of it. Look at him. Say the phrase. Yalakhaim Golem. Get through that door and rescue Sybil. And that is his command. And he's going to do whatever he can to get through the cage, get through the door, and rescue Sybil. And he just starts walking.
Yep, he goes over to the cage, your golem, and proceeds to start banging on the bars
I can roll for him if you need
to try and break through. He's not making a dent at current, but he's also not relenting.
I have a stat block for him if you need me to roll anything.
He doesn't need to roll it this time.
Okay, I'll just turn around and look at them.
He's making progress, but it is minute.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you want a cookie for that?
No, I want to leave. And never be back here.
How the hell did you do that?
I learned a lot of things trying to figure out how to take Oblivion away from Aaron. I found a variety of things except for that.
Storyteller,
Yes.
is the PA system still playing Huey Lewis in the news?
Yes, it is.
Cool, I'm gonna find the speaker and break it.
It is far too high up.
Oh no, no it's not.
Would you like to climb all the way up?
How tall is the room?
Room is approximately 80 to 100 feet tall.
I'll fly up.
Okay. Make your arouse check.
I'm okay.
Okay. And so you fly up and you do break the speaker. And the music abruptly stops.
And now it's just the banging on the cage.
Is the speaker set in the ceiling?
No, it was just hanging and there was a cord going into the wall.
Can I fit through the hole?
No. It was roughly the size of an auxiliary cord.
Can I make the hole bigger?
No.
What's the wall? What's the ceiling wall made out of?
You don't know at this point.
Just while it's banging away on the cage. It's a rendition of the thing that runs your book. But bigger.
I can see.
He's still pounding.
I'm gonna grab one of the possibly empty blunt bags and just put it in my mouth.
And Elijah looks at you and goes, "Honey, no." And he crawls back over to his box and grabs a handful of blood bags.
Oh, there's more.
And he crawls back over to you with about 4 to 5 bags. He goes, "Please, don't embarrass yourself."
I'm gonna grab them and drink them. Did not realize there were more.
All of them?
Yes, all of them that he hands me. I'm going to drink all the ones, so 5 blood bags, which would probably still only bring me down to 1.
That brings you... You will always be at 1 unless you kill someone.
Okay.
And so time passes. At this point, the golem is still hitting on the bars. There's a slight dent that has been made into them.
Can he not rend the bars apart with his stat block?
For some reason, he can't.
Hmm.
And
Just let him keep hitting.
he's still going. At this point, you guys have been sitting here for about 45 minutes just hearing doom, doom, doom.
I would kind of rather have Huey Lewis, honestly. There's obviously something this guy is able to do to minimize what we can do.
Apparently. I'm gonna...
After a bit longer, the door opens again. You hear him go, "Whoa! Hey there, big guy. What is this now?
Let us out and I'll tell you.
You got so many funny little secrets."
Right?
They're all on display.
Indeed they are. You see, if I open this door now, it's just gonna bash my head in.
He's not going for you. So no, we won't. Just don't get in his way.
And how am I supposed to believe that?
How do you believe anything?
How do you believe that we sent you to Piedmont Park on a good message? How do you believe
Because
that we
I
can...
just got back.
Then that's
you got
one.
back?
In 45 minutes to Piedmont Park.
We're closer than we thought. Then that's one truth. So,
I'm going to pull
And
away
I'm
from
here to let you all out. If you make big guy stop. Because I'll be real honest, I don't trust that.
Can you?
technically. Good. And I will walk back up to him. 1, 2. I exceeded the ritual, so I'm going to put my hand on his back. Just close my eyes for a bit, and then as he's punching, the last hit, he just collapses into the wall, like water, blood, and bone just hits the floor.
He goes, "Oh, well, that's fancy. I like that.
It's not for sale, and I just start collecting the bones back into the bag.
Oh, no good scientist has proprietary stuff on sale." And Elijah just looks up at him, nervous, and says, "You're really gonna let us go?" And he just kind of laughs. He goes, "Victor, please tell me, are you really gonna let us go?"
I'm gonna grab Elijah's hand and just keep looking at Victor and just like.
And Victor just nods his head. He goes, "Yes, and you can take your little sister up there with you. Pulled the steak out of her and everything. She's probably not going to be too pleased, but I left her with some snacks. You're all free to go." And he opens the door, holding on to it for a moment as he opens the door behind him. And he quickly steps out and closes the door to not allow any of you to follow him directly. But the door is open. And you hear him on the other side say, "And I'll keep your secret for as long as you keep mine." And then you hear retreating footsteps.
I'm gonna get Elijah. I'm just gonna put his arm over me. And I'm just gonna say, "I'm gonna tell your mom.
Don't
I have
don't.
to."
You don't understand what she'll do. She won't care about the masquerade. Just take me somewhere. Look, I wasn't always this fancy man you see before you. I used to be a bit closer to Alpha. Just tell her I found a really good party and wound up unfortunately lost in Tennessee.
I'll look at the
She'll understand, she'll believe it.
I'll look at the two of them. Does anybody else know what happened here, apart from his girlfriend?
Yeah, Pippa.
Anybody that we need to be concerned about right now?
Pippa. She's gonna be mad as hell when she realizes what happened to Sybil.
Did any of you tell your Primogen or the prince what happened, is what I'm asking.
As in whether or not Alejandro.
Does Alejandro know? Does Alpha know? Does Tabitha know? Does Dot know?
About
if
Elijah.
Wait, how
About
about
Elijah right now, what he is saying. Does anybody of importance know what is happening? Can we keep this man secret, or are we fucked either way, is what I'm asking.
I mean, I don't think anyone knows past the...
I assure you, the Primogen
Scary.
know that my past is not exactly clean.
But they don't know where you are right now.
Nobody knows where I am. But if you tell them all, if you want specifics, I found a man with some opium and wound up in Murfreesboro. It's par for the course for who I used to be. We'll call it a relapse out of nervousness over a budding new relationship.
And how are we going to explain what happened to Sybil?
Tell Alejandro that we found her. End of story.
She knows about
Alejandro
Elisha.
can know the truth. Out of all things, I surprisingly trust that man.
It's curious how many people don't trust your mother.
My mother is someone who has fought very hard for what she has. And she used to be more brazen about it. She was more willing to cause a kerfuffle. She was more willing in her arrogance. But my embrace saw to the end of that. The people who knew my mom before, they know that she can be nice and that she can be kind. They know that she was a bit of a party girl too, if I may say. We used to have a lot of fun going out down in Cabbage Town.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
I was her ghoul for long enough. We became best friends. But after Gustav and his crony or whatever took me, it changed her. My mama's not a bad person.
She's not stupid either.
She's foolish when it comes to me. I'm her blind spot. It's the one thing that she is still silly about.
What about Delphine?
I'll talk to her. I'll tell her the truth, but she'll understand.
Good luck on that. I'll walk over and push the door open and look over to Aaron. Your
Yeah.
sister?
Yeah. Oh.
Please go get Delphine. I can handle myself.
I'm gonna examine the cage while I'm waiting for them to try to see if I can get a sense of what the hell this is that can't be punched through.
Unidentified material. Nothing like anything you've ever seen.
Wish I could take some of that.
I'm gonna, with my phone, just take pictures and videos of the hallway as I'm going.
Documenting everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we're leaving, I'm actually going to motion for Hex to hold back for a second.
And I will see it, still take a video, and go over.
I'll just walk up front with Aaron up the stairs.
The only way to make sure he doesn't repeat this massacre is to make sure he can't.
You're talking about erasing his memories?
No, I'm not.
You're talking about killing him?
Whatever fail-safe measures he has in place.
You're talking about Elijah, right?
No.
Oh, this other guy. Okay.
Victor or whatever the fuck his name is.
I need to know more about what he and Dot talked about before we could do any assumption beyond that.
If you can find out, and then we can take care of whatever fail-safe measures he put in place, I will take care of him.
I mean, if it's just like hopefully a server room full of VHS tapes, that would be the best bet for all of us. But I agree, and it's definitely going to be high on my to-do list.
Yeah, I don't trust him to not repeat this.
Oh, hell no. This guy is grade A certified crazy guy. This is...
And he absolutely does not care about the people he's hurt.
He also must have one crazy fucking energy bill. Like, we're going to have to track this 100%. So, like, in my phone, just gonna check like the location and everything once I get into a more service area. But it's like I'm
Just-
keeping track of everything.
Okay, let me know.
Okay.
Okay. And so as you all head upstairs, there is a room with floodlights on, with Sybil sitting in a chair, groggy, but waking up.
Are there a lot of blood bags or bodies around her?
There are 4 empty blood bags, but she still seems a little groggy.
Can we turn the floodlights off?
You can't see where the switch is for them.
I'll
Are,
walk up
are,
to
there, are there cables, or are they just up on the wall?
They're up in the walls.
Okay.
walk up to Sybil and try to coax her to consciousness.
And she's awake enough that she notices you. And she just kind of reaches out and grabs on to your arms and just leans into you.
Let's go home.
Yeah, I think I'd like that. I think I've had enough kindred shit for a lifetime.
You know what, though? Right at the end, he ran away scared.
Good, little bitch. I want to go see my dad, please.
Yeah. I try to let him know I don't think it went through, but
We'll text them outside.
we'll head there right away.
Okay.
They're gonna be alright.
I know.
And thanks, you saved us. For what it's worth, I know it doesn't probably seem like it was the best, but you
I
did.
don't really want to talk about that right now.
Okay.
Let's get you home.
And so you guys go out into the night. And you find yourself coming out a door, kind of in an alleyway, across the street from Piedmont Park. To the left are some bungalow buildings, Ponce, the entrance to the botanical gardens. And to the right, up the road a little bit, whoever would like to be looking up and down the road for where you are, please give me what's in awareness.
I'm not hungry.
I'm just gonna focus on Sybil.
And she is using you to stand up.
4.
1.
Also 4.
Or-
I don't think I rolled that one. Sorry, I didn't count any of those. 2.
2. So for the gentleman with 4, you see a sign with a familiar logo. It says Ignatius Pharmaceuticals Safe Injection Site.
Is this a sign on the building? Or is this just down
This
the road?
is up the road,
Right.
but it is a building that you did not previously recognize.
I mark it in my phone.
Same.
Okay. And so you guys are able to get Sybil back home, make your way back to your own homes safely. And that is where we will leave this season. Thank you all so much for joining us on this season. It has been an absolutely wild and fun season to do. We love you all very much. Please take care of yourselves and each other until we see you again. Good night.